at Bayside Supper Club. Enjoy a prime rib, fish, or vegetarian dinner for only $55. Win incredible prizes by playing a variety of games and raffles. Odds are on your side with the bonus packet. $200 worth of raffle tickets for only $100. All proceeds improve and protect Beaver Dam Lake. Purchase tickets by April 6th at bdlia.org or call 920-356-1200.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman from KBN. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, WBEVAM, Beaver Dam, Dodge County, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Teams like the Browns, the Packers, they have no right playing in a dome. And the fact that the Browns are getting an indoor stadium, it sets me off.
Obviously.
It does.
That's right. It's time we once again get fired up and kick off the Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. A show that's as honest and self-aware as their hosts, Wally Lukachinsky.
I eat and drink a lot, so I shouldn't do that as often.
And Charlie Dern.
Hey, I've never claimed to be good at math. Never claimed to be good at numbers.
And of course, we can count on Ashley to keep him in check. She just might be the biggest Taylor Swift fan at the station.
It's champagne problems.
They are champagne problems.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
Oh, give me a break.
It's hard to tell. They cover everything: Titletown, pro, college, and high school sports around South Central Wisconsin. Even if it's the Wisconsin Badgers, for better or worse.
I was wrong about Badgers basketball. I've done them before. They're bad.
Catch it all on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Were we the first ones to do it?
Are we trailblazers? People are talking. Happy Friday, Dodge County. Welcome into the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Charlie Dern, I got to see your head droop once again. I thought we finally got you out of this pit of despair that you've been in for about 24 hours now, revolving around the Wisconsin men's basketball early exit into tournament, and then you hear your own bumper at the start of the show, and your head dropped, and I thought we were losing you again.
Yeah, sad disavow. It's hard watching the tournament. It's like when you play on Thursday and then you win the game, and then you get to sit there carefree on Friday. It's awesome.
Walking on sunshine.
When the opposite happens, it's tough.
See, in a weird way, though, I like that my Ohio State Buckeyes and your Wisconsin Badgers, if they were going to lose, I'm happy that was like the first couple games of the day. So then I could flush it, and I'm just like, I have no stress. I'm going to be able to watch this with a little bit more of less anxiety. But it's also a little different because I think that a lot of people, myself included, thought at best case scenario Ohio State was a team that was going to make the round of 32 and lose to Duke. And I know there's a lot of Badger fans out there that thought if things go the right way, this could be a team that goes to the Final Four. We are going to talk more Wisconsin Badgers a little later. We're going to pick 5 different head coaches here in the state of Wisconsin and rank them based on our confidence that they're going to be able to get things turned around. But before that, we have to welcome into the show the great Jason Wilde, a.k.a. Ashley Dobrzinski's best friend. You can hear him now on Wilde and Taos weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon across ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. And you can read all of his written work under the Packers tab on channel3000.com. Jason, how are you doing on this Friday afternoon?
Well, first of all, that's not the question. The question is, how is Charlie doing? I just saw his dad a little while ago, and I just want to make sure, like, I know he takes no joy in this, but when you hear that clip in the open, they proved him right. Unless I'm misinterpreting that.
I see a lot of pain in his eyes right now for you, Jason, just trying to paint the picture for you. It's a sad Charlie Dern, am I right?
Well, you did say what you said, and unfortunately, it's true. And look, I'm not here to rub it in everybody's face that this stuff doesn't bother me as much because I've lost my fandom. I'm still sad for people that care deeply about the program. I'm sad for Gardo. I'm sad for my buddy Mike Kelly, who was pretty upset last night. But you play defense the way they play defense, and you rebound the way they rebounded. That's what happens in basketball, right? So
Yeah.
it sucks, and you're disappointed. I don't know. The folks that are really mad at Guard, I got to be honest with you. I didn't have a problem with the way he performed. He made sure that the best player on this team had the ball in his hands on their two decisive possessions at the end. Not that last one, obviously, but you win with your best guys and you lose with your best guys. Michael Jordan used to do a commercial about all the times he missed game-winning shots. So it sucks. I'm sad for Dardo, and I'm sad for the guys on that team, and I'm sad for my Badger fan friends who live for this. But I'm doing fine. But I am worried about Charlie, and I want to make sure Charlie's doing okay.
Charlie Dern, the floor is yours.
We're doing a little bit better today, Jason. You'd be happy to know I will not be purchasing a Greg Gard t-shirt. I'm not in that camp. I think he can figure it out. I think we'll be okay. Obviously, that really sucked yesterday, and I was in a very, very Charlie Downer spot yesterday.
It was a tough show, Jason. It's almost worth going back because the light left his eyes for about 15 minutes there.
That was the first time. Oh, go ahead.
My real question is, do you blame Matt LaFleur after that pep talk and I use the term pep talk loosely, that he delivered to the team?
Could he motivate you to drink water after watching that video?
Yeah. I just know how you feel about him. I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right, Jason. I appreciate the sympathy.
I'm concerned. All right. And it was great to see your dad. Sounds to me like your brothers, who are they students at Minnesota? Are they Minnesota alums? They seem to take some real joy in this as well. Is that right?
Yep. So there's two of them that are at Minnesota right now. One's a senior, one's a freshman. And, my little brother was mad at me for not picking up his phone calls the minute after the game ended. I really don't know how you guys do, post-game Packers shows, because, man, that was tough, getting on the air, 30, 40 minutes after that game yesterday.
Well, it's easy if you're a Gophers fan because you're not playing in these games.
Well, neither are the Badgers.
Well.
Oh, Jason, we appreciate you joining us as always, carving out a little time for us. Real quick before we do shift over to Packers, I am curious just because we know that you are heavily involved with what the Packers do and how you report on that team. And then you're also a very involved father and a husband as well. This is one of those rare times where it's a little slow in the NFL season. Do you get to watch more March Madness than you do a lot of other major sporting events throughout the year?
Yeah, I've always loved March Madness. I think my love for it has decreased slightly only because, you used to see teams develop and players who were at the same school for a long time. And now with NIL and the transfer portal, I know TJ Otzelberger, the coach at Iowa State. Did they win or lose today, by the way? Because they were on when I was leaving Milwaukee, and their best player rolled his ankle and it looked really bad.
They were up 317 the last I looked.
Yeah, they won.
They did? Okay. I don't know any of the players anymore. I used to know the league, know the tournament. Obviously, not High Point or some of these other teams. But I used to know the players a lot better, and now I don't have a good feel for who's on each team, and so it's a little bit harder. You used to spend all tournament hating Christian Leitner way back in the day, and now I don't even know who plays for Duke. So the Boozer brothers, I assume, right?
Yep,
they're on that team.
That's correct. I mean, you're right. It's almost similarly, it feels almost like we've come into a college free agency at this point where, to your point, I remember the Ohio State teams that really drew me in when I was a kid were those guys that, like you said, I would emulate in the driveway for years at a time, and then all of a sudden you fall in love with the next group of guys. Now I can barely keep track of the guys that are on the team that I support because from year to year, you're talking about 8 or 9 different guys sometimes that are playing in a new location. It's a wild world right now in college sports.
Yeah, it's nice to just say I'm cheering against Ohio State and Michigan, and at least I've got those games covered.
Hey, well, I'm happy at least you got half of that right. So as long as we can come together now that my Buckeyes are dead, we can all root against Michigan, and we can all come together as a better world for it. So I'm okay with that.
That's what the Wolverines do. They bring people together.
Well, Jason, speaking of not knowing the players, you were talking yesterday with Homer about how there hasn't really been much availability with the new players and the new coaches and all that. Is that normal for a Packers offseason, or is this kind of unique?
No, it's more normal than it should be, but this has been particularly bad. Like, we talked to Jeff Hafley a couple of weeks after he became the defensive coordinator. We still haven't talked to Jonathan Gannon. I'm not a fan. But, again, I don't want to get bogged down in me belly aching about my access. It's just my job is to be a conduit to you, the fan, and they don't help me do that, and that irritates me. But I do think that, the most interesting thing about the announcement of the coaching staff was that we learned something that we didn't know before because we hadn't talked to Jonathan Gannon, and that is that we learned that they're going to be running a 3-4 as their base defense.
So is
because
all this
because of the title for DeMarcus Covington?
That's right. Yeah. So is this strategic, or is that just Jonathan Gannon not making himself available? Is Zaire Franklin the same way, or is that the PR team or whatever?
Hold on one second.
Oh, absolutely. We'll hold for you.
All right. So here's my question. There's a guy driving a minivan, and he's swerving all over the road on 43, including almost crashing into me earlier. And I saw him, he was texting with both hands on his phone while driving. Should I call the state patrol?
I've done it before.
I was going to say, I'm not going to act like I'm too big to say no there, Jason. We'll follow your lead on that call.
All right. So I got to get his license plate here.
I said it on the morning show today while you're getting that license plate. If I was president for a day, first of all, the power would go to my head. But beyond that, the roads would never be safer. I would have everybody thrown in jail for the smallest infractions, no matter how small. And you know what? Everybody would be so good on the road, the world would be a better place.
We need to put you in charge of a lot of things, Frank.
Yeah, you know what? You're the one that's saying it. I just say, you go basically martial law on the roadways. All of a sudden, people aren't going to be texting. People ain't going to be going 35, going in and out of traffic. The world would be a better place. Strict road laws. That's what I'm advocating.
All right. Well, I've got it. I suppose I was sort of texting while I was driving to get his license number in, but I did it very cautiously. But I'm calling the state patrol right after I get done with you guys. Back to your question. Sorry. I just think it's interesting because Goody and obviously other coaches around the league have downplayed the significance of 3-4-4-3 because it's such a base. They don't play base defense very often, right? I mean, it's about 80% sub or even higher. Mm-hmm. And so, Goody was asked about this at the scouting combine, and he dodged the question. He said, well, it's going to be a 4-2-5. Yeah, okay, that's when you're in the sub package. But what is the base going to be? And now we know because you don't have an outside linebackers coach in a 4-3 system. So to me, that was the one thing that came out of the announcement yesterday that was noteworthy and interesting. And I'm glad that we got that information. But beyond that, I want to talk to Jonathan Gannon. Like, you guys have questions. Our fans who listen to the shows have questions. They want to know more about what he's thinking in terms of his game plan, in terms of his approach, in terms of what his system's going to look like, in terms of who he thinks really fits his system well. So I don't know when those conversations will take place, but I look forward to when they do.
Does that typically happen a little bit more often as the draft approaches, and when you try to find out more about whether it be the game plan going forward with the roster construction, or is this something that could be we don't really hear much until we get closer to training camp?
No, I mean, we'll have the off-season program eventually. You'll have to talk at some point, but again, we talked to Jeff Hafley shortly after he was hired. We talked to Joe Barry not long after he was hired. I don't know what happened here. I'll give the Packers a little bit of grace until I talk to their PR department and ask them, but I would like to talk to them soon. Let me just leave it at that.
My last question for you, Jason, and we're going to let you talk to State Highway Patrol. What I want to know is that when you see stadiums like Paul Brown Stadium sell their name to Paycor, it's not fun or glamorous, but at the end of the day, you're talking about Paul Brown Stadium where there's no history or anything attached. We've heard recently that there are rumblings that Lambeau Field might be going by another name before long. I know money always wins out, and I already know this feels inevitable, but what do you think that the timeline will be? Does this happen soon? Are we going to have to say goodbye to the name of Lambeau before long?
I don't think so. I think there's a little bit of a fear tactic here. There's obviously concerns about the way other organizations that are owned by wealthy billionaires can sell to private equity and raise a lot of capital very easily. So I get that. But, no, I think this is this Ed Policy is a really smart guy, kind of putting it out there, that they're going to have to look for other revenue streams. But, again, I'm skeptical not only of them doing that with the naming rights, but, again, I would be curious on both sides of the equation if the company, let's say it's Lukachinsky Tires that buys the naming rights. Am I going to say I'm going to Lambeau Field at the Lukachinsky Tire Center, or am I just going to say I'm going to Lambeau? So I'm skeptical of how much bang for their buck they would get. And on the flip side, real Packers purists who think it's abominable that they would put naming rights on the stadium, my question would be, would they suddenly say, well, forget Lukachinsky Tires, I'm going to go to Dern Wheels and Sprockets instead because they didn't put their name on my beloved stadium. So I'm a skeptic of this happening. If it has to happen, though, to your point, that money does help the team and theoretically helps your team win. So, I'm sure there'll be fans that can look past that as well.
We'll make sure people go to Lukachinsky Tires or Dern. What was that name again?
Wheel and Sprocket.
Dern Wheels and Sprockets, yeah. I didn't want to go tires in the title again.
Well, that's why you're an expert. You're able to mix it around when you're writing out there, Jason. But we want you to stay safe on the road out there, so good luck to you. We'll be more chipper next week, and we're back to our normal schedule, so you're stuck with us twice a week going forward.
All right, I'll tell the State Patrol you guys said hi.
Thank you, Jason.
You want to know? Oh, surprise, Jason. I cut him off on the
Take care, be good.
Take care, be good. That's on me. I was going to say, though, you know who's a wild driver?
Who's a wild driver?
The one, the only. Ashley Dobrzinski. She's like in a 35. If you're in a school zone, she's like, why aren't you speeding up right now?
That is Charlie Dern. That is not true.
She's like, I go faster when it's like during the day.
That is not true.
Then explain yourself.
Okay. Wally, have you ever driven with Charlie?
I have.
Charlie's a slow driver.
Wow, that's actually
not true.
the exact opposite of the conversation that was had when we took a trip to Milwaukee with our fearless leader, Sherry Sackett.
Really? That's surprising to me because Charlie, he was driving slow. It was a 30. We were in a 35. And I keep forgetting that we got the new webcam. So I'm like looking down on my computer, but I can look up there. Anyways,
I didn't go 45 in a 35 in a neighborhood.
He was going 25, and then asked me how many people I've killed.
Yeah, we passed a school zone. And you're like, you're only going 15. Yeah, it's a school zone.
There are children here.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. That's a child.
No, Charlie acted.
What was that? Must have been the new speed bump.
Whatever. I don't drive that slow. I'm that reckless. I will say I'm not a good parker. I've sent you guys pictures of that, though.
Well, that's a well-known fact. People around town, you would be able to find Ashley Dobrzinski. If she's parked at the establishment, you will be very well aware.
Shut up.
Well, it sounds like if you were on the highway at the same time as Jason, that Jason's reporting you.
You got extra eyes out there
That
on
is
you
true.
now.
I
Keep
gotta
that
be
in mind.
careful now.
Yeah, probably something to consider.
Jason said they got 26 inches of snow in Green Bay. That sucks.
20, yeah, it's a little bit more. We already have ours melted. We're in the beautiful Beaver
Well,
Dam, that's why.
Yeah. Anyways.
We'll step aside for a quick break, and then Ashley Dobrzinski is going to play a mystery game with us that she wanted to unveil in the second block. So we're going to give her the floor when we get back here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Attention sports fans. Whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where sports fans come to play.
Prairie Ridge Health's primary care team welcomes new patients. From routine checkups to support for chronic conditions, Prairie Ridge Health's primary care team is here to provide personalized, compassionate care for your entire family. With clinics in Beaver Dam, Columbus, Sun Prairie, and Marshall, our primary care team is here to provide care for every age and life stage. Meet our providers and schedule today at prairieridge.health or call 920-623-1200.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam. Our annual indoor Easter egg hunt is this March 28th, and it starts at 10 a.m. Now, kids 5 and under will get a head start. Be sure to follow our Facebook page on our events posts, and it will show you any and all information that you need. But March 28th, starting at 10 a.m., is our indoor annual Easter egg hunt. Bring your excited kiddos and find all of the eggs. There are a few additional extra special prizes and baskets for a couple of the golden egg winners. Stop into the store and have some fun with us on March 28th.
Attention sports fans. Whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all the live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where every day is opening day.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Stock up and save on the toughest filters in the business during Wick's Filter Sale Days. This month at your local Auto Value. Score some of the season's best deals on top-performing Wick's filters. Plus enjoy savings on oil, fluids, grease, batteries, tools, and more. It's the perfect time to upgrade, service vehicles, and get ready for the road ahead. See store for official sale dates. Auto Value. We've got the parts. We've got the smarts.
Join me, Rich Eisen, weekdays from noon to 2. Now back to the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Derek called this mean. This is mean.
Are you proud? Are you happy with yourself, Ashley?
I am happy.
What did I do?
You gave away. It was supposed to be a surprise. The whole game, the wheel, was supposed to be a surprise. And what does Charlie do? Tells Wally.
Well,
because he looked at my desk.
Your desk is next to mine.
To be fair, also, when I had that spoiled to me, I was doing like 3 things, and the way it was explained to me, I have very little idea still of what's coming. I just know there's a wheel, and it's going to make Charlie sad.
Yeah, this is
Charlie
mean.
Downer.
It's not. I mean,
Let's find
We're
out.
gonna talk.
I'll report back at the end of this segment if I feel like this was a justifiable shot or where we sit.
So we are going to talk about the not greatest, but we'll talk about the greatest heartbreaks in Wisconsin history.
All right, so you're spinning the wheel.
So we have a.
where do you have the Peshtigo Fire ranked?
What?
The Peshtigo. It's all right.
Spin the wheel.
Bigger fire than the Chicago Fire. People forget.
Okay, what do we think about the 2014 NFC Championship against Seattle for the Packers?
I didn't even learn about
Why are
this
we doing
aspect of
this?
this, but Wade told me, and I watched back years ago, the interception with about 4 or 5 minutes to go that felt like it would have iced the game. There was a clear path to the end zone, and Julius Peppers, as a veteran trying to run out the clock, is telling. Do you remember off the top of your head who had that interception?
No, maybe Morgan Burnett.
It might have been, actually, because Julius Peppers is saying, get down, and we all know what happens after that. Seattle gets the ball back. They're able to score and get the onside kick and tie the game. Charlie, I'll give you the floor since you're actually a resident Packers fan here.
These are all going to be moments that I've tried to completely erase from my brain, lobotomize my brain.
on.
And now we're just going to undust all of them and talk about them?
Yeah.
That was horrible. Anytime I see a clip of that, I scroll past it. Brandon Bostic's on Twitter yelling at Packers fans to get over it. And that there was a million things that could have happened. Fine, man. Cool. You still dropped an onside kick that hit you in the hands in the helmet. Why are we doing this?
I do want to ask before you go even further, Dopes.
That's probably the worst one.
Out of the first thing, that's what we get. Is this what you envisioned for this block? Is Charlie just being miserable again? I imagine that was what you were going for.
At first, no, but it is kind of an added bonus. Because it's like a live radio, TV crash out. And I feel like we don't get those enough anymore.
Well, you're manufacturing it right before our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, what did I do to you?
I don't know, but let's go to the next one. Oh, I gotta actually look at what it is. Well, Charlie, Mr. 162, the 2018 NLCS Game 7 versus the Dodgers.
Yeah. So baseball, Brewers for me, it's never gonna be as bad. That was the game that Woodruff hit the home run, I believe.
Yes.
It felt like, oh wow, it's finally gonna happen. We're gonna get back to 1982 and get back to the World Series, and then, just another Wisconsin sports team.
We've gone. Did you guys know that? I didn't actually.
Well, at least in the NL, going back to '82 when they made the World Series.
Yeah, but before '82. Yeah, or since '82, that's the farthest we've gotten.
Right, and that's the farthest they'll get again is the conference
NLCS.
The NLCS. Because the baseball's broken. and it's stupid.
I'm watching you revert back to yesterday at 4:30 right before noon.
I literally I feel attacked.
Let's go again.
I'm safe too. As far as my understanding, there's not my sports teams on here, so I get to kind of just bask in. Charlie, can we put this out in the air? This has nothing to do with me. I want that on the record.
Well, Wally, there is a few on here that's Ohio State.
No, why would you do that?
Because I can.
That's so mean. I don't like this now.
20-25 Ohio State game.
Against Miami, or are we talking about Michigan the year before?
Against Miami.
Which year?
Against Miami.
So that was heartbreaking in the sense that if you get past that first round game, I do think that you're on a collision course with Indiana. And I do think that that Big Ten title game showed that the way they're constructed, they could have won the national title again. With that being said, I think that for me, it was after the first 24 hours where I was kind of where Charlie is right now, I was able to at least process it in the sense that Miami was a damn good football team this year. It feels like the U is coming back, and that they were that close to getting there and getting the national title that has eluded Miami for 25 years. So while that was tough for Ohio State losses, I don't think it cracks my top 5 at least.
Okay. We'll go back to Wisconsin sports.
Oh no, she didn't even roll that. She just manufactured, asked me questions.
Yep.
Yeah, I did, because I felt bad for doing that to Charlie. But
This isn't
not
fun.
anymore. Okay, football, UW Badgers, 2017 Big Ten Championship against Ohio State. So, but that was kind of a good one for you, Wally.
It was a good one. But here's the
you
thing.
won.
This can't be. I'd imagine for you, and tell me if I'm way off base. Even that year, they competed in that game and kept it close. From a talent perspective, I thought it was like a win in that sense that the Badgers kept that game that close. The bets going into that, I want to say it was like a 15.5 point spread. Like there wasn't a lot of optimism that they were going to be able to get over the hump. I imagine that couldn't be maybe that heartbreaking. Maybe it was just because it was Ohio State. What would you say?
Is that the Melvin Gordon team? Or?
No, that was the Melvin Gordon year. Not a big deal. Wasn't that the 59-0?
Yeah, that was when I was at. Yeah,
2014.
Cardale Jones, his first start, right?
Yeah, that JT Barrett tore his ACL in the Ohio State-Michigan game, and Cardale goes into that. Nobody even gave them a shot to, like, they thought that there was a shot that you could beat Wisconsin. It was a close game there, but nobody was like, you're going to go to beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Right. And even at that point, you were going to beat Marcus Mariota and that Oregon Duck team. So, I don't know. I feel like that would probably be more heartbreaking just because of the way it happened than 2017.
Yeah, I was pretty numb to it because at that point, I was a Northwestern Wildcats fan, so I was not used to even watching Wisconsin in those kinds of games.
So no heartbreak there?
Not really a heartbreak for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Dang it.
Yeah.
We'll go again.
Swing and a miss.
Joe, you were for tease.
Yeah, well, I haven't. Ooh, yesterday's loss to High Point.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh. The body is still warm on that one. That one really hurt. I thought that Wisconsin had a chance to get to the second weekend for the first time in my Badgers fandom. Not to be.
I should have asked this yesterday, but in the scope of Wisconsin Badgers basketball, where does that loss rank for you all time? Because you are a graduate. What year did you graduate? Would that have been like right around 2021-ish?
23 was my
23.
graduation.
I'm making you older than you are. So you were probably a fan for the Badgers for about 8 years or so now?
Yeah, 19 to now.
So would this loss be the worst one for you and your fandom for Wisconsin basketball?
Maybe, was it last year we were a 3 seed? No, it was...
Wasn't last year you were seed 5 and then James Madison was 12, or was that 20?
That was 2 years ago.
Last year we played BYU and lost in the round of 32, and that loss wasn't that heartbreaking because BYU was very good last year.
Well, and they played their best game of the year against you, and it wasn't even like you weren't prepared. They just shot the lights out of the gym.
Yeah, we were the better team than High Point and lost the game, so that one ranks pretty high. The year we were a 3 seed and lost in the round of 32, that was really tough. I want to say that was like 5 or 6 years ago. That was tough. So that was probably the second most heartbreaking for me as a Badgers fan.
Dobes, you getting what you want out of this? Is this scratching your itch?
Yeah.
Fair?
I don't think this is very mean.
Well, let's find out.
Just relive all the worst points of the lowest points of fandom for Wisconsin sports fans. That's not mean.
What's the next one?
I don't know if I should say.
Oh, no. What is it, me or him?
Him.
Well, yeah, then I absolutely want you to say it.
2026 wild card loss versus the Bears.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was atrocious. There's a million things. I mean, like, obviously I'm over it now, but the Packers could have beaten the Seahawks. I know they were hurt. They could have figured something out to make something work. We should have beaten the Bears. We could have beaten the Seahawks. Not saying we would have. They obviously won the Super Bowl, but it's all there. The Packers definitely ranked the highest for me in my fandom and what I care about the most. And yeah, that really sucked. When you're up 21-3 at halftime, there's not really an excuse in the book as to why you should lose the game.
Well, hate fuels so much that I'm curious with this, because that's a wild card game. And we talked a little bit about the Seahawks NFC Championship in 2014. Mm-hmm. Given you're in the Super Bowl if you beat the Seahawks, does that still come in ahead of what happened this year where you're up 3 scores going into the second half?
Wait, repeat that.
I know, you're like, he's got the 1,000-yard stare right now. He's literally like looking at the clock.
He's so sad.
Yeah.
I was going to ask which was worse, the 2014 NFC title game because it is is the NFC title game.
Oh, I see.
Or was this worse because it is the Bears and you have a 3-score lead?
No, yeah, the title NFC title game because you're right on the doorstep. Yeah, like you were saying, you're right there, and so that's when because once you're in the Super Bowl, you just need a shot. Like if you have a shot at it, then who knows what's going to actually happen in the game. Getting there is the hardest part. But yeah, you are right. Losing to the Bears and having to have all my Chicago friends texting me about it. That was rough. That was another like yesterday. Gonna put my phone down for a little while.
I'll be nice. I will offer up one right here. So, question for you, Dubs. You have a choice. Choose your own adventure.
Okay.
The tuck rule, the Raiders losing on an infamous call against the New England Patriots, or Ohio State losing to Michigan at home last year in November in 2024. Which would you rather me have?
Ohio State, Michigan.
That was the day we had the slam at the dam, and very ironically enough, I believe that's Corey Sparks there in the comments. Corey Sparks and Charlie Dern are at Beaver Dam High School. And the expectation in the conversation, by the way, shout out Corey, by the way, but we are there prepared for this magnificent day. And I had told everybody I will be there locked in and ready to go from about 2:45 for the rest of the day. And then not even a slight thought in my head that they were going to lose that game at home, especially with all the injuries in Michigan. I walked into that building and talk about 1,000-yard stare. I didn't want to look at anybody. I'm wearing my Ohio State coat, and people are giving me the looks, and I make eye contact with Charlie, and he's got that look he has right now where it's just the look down, smirk, and I hated you with my entire soul for about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why are we bringing up these bad memories?
Okay, I'm done. I have no more. The wheel is away.
The wheel's
I'm done. It's clear, Charlie.
That was mean.
Happy Friday.
What significant game has Carol played in?
Oh.
Now you're lashing out.
Yeah, you are lashing. Well, actually, we were just in the NCAA D3 tournament. We made it to the women's. We made it to the second weekend.
Oh, what website does that stream on?
Charlie Dern, you are lashing out. This is insane. Wally, I can't believe this. You are.
That's Charlie Downer talk right there.
You are.
Well, we do have to step aside, but when we come back, we are going to kind of continue the conversation in the sense that we're looking at the 3 professional head coaches here across Wisconsin, as well as the Wisconsin Badgers basketball and football program. And these guys that are in charge of these programs, these teams, who we have the most confidence in being able to turn it around. But real quick, before we get to that, we do want to remind you that if you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, you can head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right there on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, look for the orange logo, and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards. Your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. Continued misery talk coming up next here on the Damn Sports Show.
This is Haley Daniels, head cross-country coach at Beaver Dam High School, and you are listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Partner your business with the most famous 4 letters in sports, ESPN. For more information, click on the Contact Us tab at DailyDodge.com.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell. Former Clearview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center Director Ed Summers has been placed on leave. Clearview employees accused Ed Summers of inappropriate remarks, favoritism, and retaliation. A Columbia County Sheriff's deputy is on administrative leave. The post office may have uncovered possible drug shipments from the deputy to a home in Montello. Charter Spectrum is shutting down its tech support call center in Appleton. Spectrum says moving 313 positions will save money. The company is offering laid-off workers jobs in Fond du Lac. Governor Evers has yet to sign a bill to make online sports betting legal in Wisconsin. He says all of Wisconsin's tribes would have to be involved. And springtime means wildfire season. Waupun Fire Chief B.J. DeMa reminds people that open burning is illegal.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell.
Your home for Beaver Dam High School Golden Beaver Athletics is Daily Dodge TV and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Every financial journey is different. At M People Credit Union, they're committed to helping you reach your destination on your terms. Whether you need marketing leading rates that help you reach your financial destination faster, financial guidance to help you navigate your path, or digital tools that let you manage your accounts from anywhere. You can do things your own way, but you don't have to do them alone. Learn more at mpeople.com. That's EMPEOPLE.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Shop the Pig!
Get your grocery shopping done right the first time. Shop the Pig at Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville. From everyday essentials to their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and smoked meats, the Pig continues to deliver. Stock up at the deli fresh favorites, grab snacks for game nights, and don't forget their huge selection of beer and liquor. One stop, one cart, and everything you need. Shop Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly. Online at foxbrospigglywwiggly.com.
For continued coverage of your local high school and pro sports teams, spend the weekday 4 o'clock hours with the Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
You buy one, we buy the other. The Analysis Live, one of the biggest nights in Wisconsin sports, and we don't want anyone to miss out. You buy one ticket, and ESPN Wisconsin is going to buy the other. Be there for the night that will have everyone talking. March 27th, Analysis Live is a completely unpredictable show with Thanasis Antetokounmpo and surprise guests. Were you there when Stephen A. Smith joined? Or when Bobby Portis brought down the house? Where were you sitting when Giannis walked on stage? The Analysis Live is can't miss. TALiveshow.com is where you get tickets. Enter code ESPN WIBOGO. That's ESPN WIBOGO when you check out. And buy one, get one for Thanasis Live on March 27th at the Riverside Theater, TALiveshow.com. I got lost in there because there's a lot of BOGOs, and I just started looking around, and I got in trouble there. But anyways, Dobes, got to give you a quick shout out. Charlie might not have enjoyed the last segment, but Corey Sparks did out there, so you got at least one supporter for what you were doing over there. And I did love that he also noted that you could hear the sadness in my radio call last year during the game. So I appreciate there's other people that remember the pain.
I don't know why Charlie didn't like that.
No comment.
No comment for the press at this time.
Well, according to my dad, nothing was more heartbreaking than the 1998 Super Bowl loss.
I can believe that. That's
Broncos.
Elway. You're talking about a point where you know, even when you have Brett Favre for a while still at that point, you never know when you're going to get back. Anytime you get to that game and you lose, it hurts. Even when the Raiders got their doors blown off in 2002 to the Buccaneers, you just feel like you're at the precipice. And when you don't get over the hump, it is something you don't recover from. And that was a much different game. And you had that helicopter play, which I'm sure, as a lot of football fans around the world see it, it's like, wow, that's a moment of great pride and excitement for the sport. It's not that way for everybody. Every time you see one of those highlights, there's a fan base out there that has got their fist shaking in the air.
Well, and then to make it worse, Brett Favre recently, like last week or 2 weeks ago, he tweeted about how one of the playoff losses when he was on the Vikings was the most heartbreaking loss that he ever experienced in his career as a Viking.
Well, I was going to say the two that jump out to me, if you're just talking in general, because of what happened with his decision-making. Mm-hmm. That game, because he throws across his body when the Vikings were very much in field goal range, and then that New York Giants game in 2007 where the Giants it felt like vastly overmatched, but Mother Nature, almost in a weird way, kept that game close. It was 30 degrees below zero, and Brett Favre throws a pick, and they end up kicking the field goal and go on to beat the Patriots, mind you. But I can understand that. Whenever you get that close, it's very, very hard to emotionally overcome. But, Charlie, we're going to kind of, I want to say positively look at this because there are 5 coaches that we have talked to ad nauseum on this show. And that being, of course, Greg Gard, Luke Fickell, Pat Murphy, Matt LaFleur, and Doc Rivers. The 5 coaches of the 3 professional teams here in Wisconsin, and then the 2 teams that we cover most often here on the show, in the men's basketball and, of course, the football team. If I asked you to rank these coaches in terms of the confidence you have in them to turn around their specific team and be able to get them over the hump, how do you rank these 5?
Yeah, I think especially on the sustainability part, it's Pat Murphy 1.
Even with the worry about him being up close to 70 years old, that doesn't factor much for you?
No, not really with baseball, because I don't know how much that really matters. We just saw a couple years ago Dusty Baker win a World Series, and obviously he's...
Tony La Russa got another shake at it in Chicago, and he was mid-70s and in emotional turmoil or personal turmoil.
Right, and Pat Murphy looks like he's doing well. So, yeah, I'd say Pat Murphy's number 1 there.
I'd agree with that, actually.
And it's not really his fault that ownership's never going to give him a real fair shot at winning anything, but that's not on him. Ultimately, he can only control what he can control in the players that are out on the field and on the roster. So, Pat Murphy 1. I've still got Greg Gard 2. I still believe in him. Obviously, year over year, and even now in the new era of college basketball where you got to go and attack the portal, like Shaka Smart said, hey, we're not going to do the portal, and then they finished last in the Big East. Greg Gard, complete opposite way. He said, we're going to attack in the portal. They did that, and they've been great at finding guys. Nick Boyd was a portal guard, and he was probably the best transfer in the entire country this year. You just lose one game in March, and it's all over. So that's the hardest part about it. But, yeah, Pat Murphy 1, Greg Gard 2.
It's not great radio, but I agree at this point because with Greg Gard as well, you're talking about a team that, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but in the regular season, you get to see that they're a team that really can compete with anybody on any given day. And I know you can say the exact same thing about the Green Bay Packers more often than not, that they can compete at any time with anybody. But I do believe, because Greg Gard has shown the ability, not only with, like you said, going and changing his approach in the portal, but there was that year a few years back where there was a lot of turmoil in that locker room and there was a disconnect between the players and coaches. And he had the players come in and basically said, you say whatever you want, get it off your chest. I want to hear from you. And that's not something you see out of this kind of aged coach. This is typically a role that these people are really set in their ways. I'm doing it my way. If you don't like it, get over it. But instead, I love that he was willing to listen to players. We haven't seen the rewards and get into the second weekend quite yet. But if you're asking me who I have the faith to turn it around, I think he's willing to do different things to get you there.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's proven that probably more than any of these other coaches.
I completely agree. I'll tell you my third, and you tell me if you agree. I'm going Doc Rivers because I know he's kind of got that stigma of being the guy that always gets you to the postseason, can't really get over the hump. He's Mr. 3-1. Everybody knows that. But what I will say, too, is this is a Bucs organization that if they do get Giannis back, that is a big if. If he's back and playing for the Bucs next year, I do trust him to run at least a competent operation. And when you have a guy like Giannis on the team who still will be in his prime, I believe that Doc Rivers isn't going to be the reason why you lose playoff series. And for that reason alone, I'm going to put him at third.
I've got Doc Rivers at 5 out of 5.
Wow, really?
Well, It sounds like he's going to retire and that Darvin Ham's that head coach next year.
Which is also fair. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, you kind of rule him out, and then all of a sudden Darvin Ham's in there, and it's a different situation. The Bucs are a total dumpster fire, and I think trading Giannis is the best way to turn anything around. But, I mean, you trade Giannis, you trade away your franchise, and then it's kind of a mess. Ownership's getting involved. It's a total problem.
Jimmy Haslam being involved with anything is bad news.
Yeah,
but we have a different one there. So what do you have it for?
Yeah,
3 for you. Excuse me.
Greg Gard, then it's like the money ball, then 50 feet of crap, and then Matt LaFleur. I don't think that Matt LaFleur, Luke Fickell, or Doc Rivers at this point can really get over the hump. I think maybe I should have put Fickell there, but what's over the hump in college football? Making the playoff. I'd say that Matt LaFleur would be more likely to make a run in the playoffs than Luke Fickell would be to make the football playoff at this point. I don't really think Matt LaFleur's a winner, but we're sticking with him. I think after this year, if we don't have 10 or 11 wins and make at least the divisional round, I would even say that we should make the NFC Championship. If we don't get it that far, then I think we have to seriously consider doing something else, because if it takes you 8 years to get over the hump, then how much more time do you need?
Well, so it sounds like we have pretty much the exact same order. The only difference is where we have Doc Rivers, because I do have Matt LaFleur at 4, and Luke Fickell 5. But I think that's also more of a testament to what you were going into as well, that Luke Fickell and the Badgers, I do think that there is a path, especially if they do attack the portal more often, that they can get back. The only problem is the Big Ten is as deep as it's ever been. So having to hit this year, because this feels like a make or break year, that's where my optimism is lower, because I do think that getting to 8 wins, even with this easier schedule, given what we've seen over the past few years and what we heard the other day from Hunter Vaughn, who knows what that quarterback position is going to look like even next year, I'm going to keep them one step below. And that is at least my order there, Charlie Dern.
Yep. Pat Murphy, Greg Gard, Matt LaFleur, Luke Fickell at 4, Doc Rivers 5. The Badgers' football schedule this year, it's pretty favorable for them. They should be able to win 8 games, 9 games, and at that point, I'm happy. We're back bowling. At least we're back bowling.
Well, and if you get the 8 wins, I think that you have optimism that things can get better. Mm-hmm. The problem is if you go 6-6, making a bowl, is that enough to keep Luke Fickell's job? And it's hard for me to say I'm banking on this guy to turn it around when I don't even know if he's going to be there, if getting to the bowl eligibility is the bar.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's something that needs to be answered, because then at that point we're probably talking about the AD and his job security as well, because he's kind of similar to NFL GMs and their head coaches. Like he's kind of attached himself at the hip.
We are going to take one final break. When we come back, Ashley Dobrzinski is going to lead us in a little Friday trivia as we send you guys out for the weekend. That's next on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. Lows level off around 35, with fog and spots tonight under overcast skies, northeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun, with fog and spots early tomorrow, highs level off around 63. Partly cloudy skies, tomorrow night, lows level off around 42. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Currently, it's 56 degrees.
Keep up to date with all the latest going on in high school athletics across the region by heading to the sports tab at DailyDodge.com. Local scores, interviews, and more.
Is your business celebrating an anniversary, hosting a special event, or looking to drive foot traffic and boost your brand in the community? Then it's time to jump on board with 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge Broad Fries. Get ready to make room for our grills. We're inviting local businesses to become official Broad Fry hosts this season. It's a fun, high-energy way to bring customers to your location and create buzz around your business. You'll even partner with a local nonprofit organization to give back to the community while you grow. And this year's Broad Fry season will feature attendance-based guaranteed cash prizes for fans. All will be encouraged to get their stamp cards ready and participate in all Broad Fries on site. Everyone can follow along throughout the season. If they get their stamp card stamped 5 times, they're entered into a random drawing for those guaranteed cash prizes.
No purchase necessary to participate in the contest.
It's great food, great crowds, and community impact. To become a host location, visit DailyDodge.com today and fire up your next event.
Adopting a teen was more fulfilling and rewarding than we ever thought it would be. We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The Dam Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. Your favorite local sports teams, your favorite local sports hosts. It's Wally and Charlie on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Feels like a reward for Ashley to get her song right here. I don't know if you feel like it was earned, but you know what? Ashley, you deserve it on Friday.
I am not turning it off.
Yeah, leave it in the background. Give us a little ambiance as we get into Friday trivia, and I'll let you get us kicked off here as we have about 5 minutes left.
All right, well, we're doing March Madness trivia.
Okay.
Obviously.
Naturally.
So, hold on. This is going to distract me. I'm going to sing instead of actually doing this. All right. First one. Who famously hit the buzzer beater for Villanova in 2016?
Cam.
No.
No?
No, it's not Cam.
Oh.
I just know that it followed up the greatest shot that nobody's ever going to remember for the rest of their life from UNC. I suck with the player names, especially at a place like Villanova that's in Philadelphia.
Chris Jenkins?
Yep.
All right.
Good job,
Nicely
Charlie.
done.
Yeah, there we go.
That's an early lead for the Dern over here.
That is. What was the last undefeated team to win the national title?
Illinois lost in the title game.
Was it UConn a couple years ago?
Nope.
No, you're probably thinking of women's basketball because they win every year.
Yeah, I was thinking of that Danny Hurley team though. They dominated that tournament.
Can you give us a hint in terms of like when in
We
era?
all were not. Yeah, Wally, you weren't alive. None of us were alive.
Oh.
Okay, this was before set because that makes sense because that Illinois team, I believe in 2005, was undefeated all the way either to the championship game or to the Final Four, and it was massive news. Like, this is the best team we've seen in forever. Man, if it was before when I was alive, I'm going to think something like Phil Knight in Indiana.
Yes.
Oh.
It was
Come
Indiana,
on!
Nice.
1976.
Wow.
Let's go. Throw a chair across the room. We tied it up.
Yeah. Speaking of throwing chairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're tied.
What's the lowest seed to ever win the tournament? Before our time as well.
Was that Jimmy V's NC State?
No.
It wasn't? It's going. If it was before we were born, because UConn won as an 8 seed with Shabazz Napier.
You said before our time.
I know. I'm trying to think if they won as an 8.
Oh, I
it
see.
has to be above an 8 seed. I would have thought NC State, but they might have been an 8 or 9 seed themselves.
Well, problem. I didn't really. Okay. My source said Villanova, who was an 8 seed in 1985. But if UConn was also.
I'm almost positive UConn was an 8 seed when they won it. But an 8 seed, that would make sense. In NC State, I'd love to. I'll double check NC State while you're looking at that too. But an 8 seed in general, to get there, Kentucky did a few years ago too as an 8.
The lowest seed to win March Madness was Villanova in 1985.
All right, well, you ask the next question. Well, I'm going to figure this out.
What 11 seed made the Final Four? Actually, made the Final Four in 2011.
Which what team in 2011?
11 seed made the Final Four.
Would that have been Loyola Chicago?
No.
No, that's Shaka Smart's VCU Rams.
Yes, that was.
Dang it. I needed to guess that first. That press was unbelievable when we first got it.
You're doing trivia from before our age and when I was 10 years old. Give me a chance here.
Sorry.
I'm better at trivia that happened 20 years ago than something that happened 5.
Fine. What 15 seed made the Elite 8 in 2022?
St. Peter's.
Oh, well, good job.
Nicely done.
What 14 seed beat a 3 seed Virginia in 2023?
14 seed beat Virginia.
I know, and everybody's going to naturally
Charlie,
think of the
this
16-1 UMPC.
This was like your time.
Yeah.
2022 was your time. Can confirm.
2023, actually.
Sure. The 3 seed, or as a 3 seed, lost to a 14. Middle
What
Tennessee
14
State beat
seed?
somebody.
That was Sparty.
That was Sparty at 15-2. I have to pass. I don't think I have this one in the bag.
So this would be like a Horizon League team, probably, or like an American.
Go Wright
It's
State.
like Bucknell.
Nope.
I don't know.
Who was it?
Furman.
All right, let's go one more and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Well, how many months have 28 days?
12 of them.
Ah, dang
We
it.
dunked on her. That's a way to go out on the weekend.
I was going to try to stump you guys.
Kick
That's all
rocks,
I have.
Goats. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back same time, same place on Monday with another edition of the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this